my name is Amy Burke, and I am the math coordinator here in San Mateo-Foster City School District. Our strategic plan has laid out a focus on our 7th and 8th grade classrooms, as well as our 3rd grade classrooms. And we get to have a team of teachers on special assignment, who I'll call TOSAs, Teacher on Special Assignment, who are working with teachers and classrooms across our district. So we have 7 TOSAs serving our elementary school sites. Many of them are working at 2 or more sites. And we have a team of TOSAs and peer coaches at the middle school sites supporting the classrooms at our 4 comprehensive middle schools. I'll start by talking about the middle school work because we have been working on our math pathways over the past few years. Our board made a decision to have heterogeneous groupings of students in all Math 6 classrooms across the district. That means that every single incoming 6th grade student is sitting in their math class together. Then we also made a commitment to allowing equitable access for interested and prepared students to access algebra in our middle school system. So to do that, many districts will compress or compact their math coursework, their middle school math coursework, which is super foundational work for success in high school mathematics. And what we decided to do was to take a different approach here in San Mateo-Foster City. And our approach actually says that we're not going to compact, take out any standards, move very quickly through this foundational math. Instead, we're going to offer 2 different pathways to get to that algebra course. And so we have had to rethink not only the pathways, but what is our curriculum and instruction in our classrooms to allow more students that access, and how are we thinking about inviting more students into those classrooms. So some of the work that we've been doing over the past 2 years and that will continue next year is to think about what's happening in the classroom, to really put a focus or a lens on that question of how do we engage more students and allow more equitable access to the mathematics that we can offer here in our district and more success in high school and beyond. And part of what our answer has been is that we have a systematic approach. And we have 3 things that we've put in place for our middle schools, and these 3 things are also in place for our elementary schools. One is we have built a strong collaboration across our district. So teachers who teach at one middle school a certain course, let's call it Math 7, are teaching the same content along the same scope and sequence, same pacing guide as teachers who are teaching Math 7 at a different school site. These teachers are meeting weekly across sites. We have a set of lead teachers who meet each week across sites, and these teachers dig into the questions of what are the big ideas of the mathematics in this unit. What are we seeing as the students' strengths that we can build upon? What are the students' current conceptions that we might need to tighten up and help them to better understand or more deeply understand? And how are we going to make sure to involve every student in and engage them in our classrooms? So that collaboration structure at our middle schools includes 1 lead teacher at each grade level meeting each week together. And then those lead teachers in turn going to their own sites and meeting with their own Math 7 team or Math 6 team or Math 8 team to kind of disseminate that information, have a similar conversation, and put it into that specific context for that site. That structure is happening for our Math 6, Math 7, and Math 8 classrooms, and that structure is also in place at our elementary school sites with a focus on third grade math. Our third grade math collaborative includes all of our third grade teachers and our Math-TOSA team. The Math-TOSAs work really closely with one another to tighten up our curriculum and to think about the instruction, to curate our common formative assessments so that we can really understand what are the mathematical goals that we have for our students, what are the mathematical practice goals that we have for our students, and how do we ensure that every student has access and success in those areas. So in talking about the coaching model that we have in place here in San Mateo Foster City, our 4 middle schools have teachers who are also peer coaches. So we have a teacher at Burrell Middle School. She teaches 2 sections of Math 7, and then she pushes in and supports and co-teaches and peer coaches into the other Math 7 courses at that site. We have a teacher who teaches Math 6 at Bayside. She teaches her section, and then she pushes into the other Math 6 sections and supports those teachers and those students in that classroom. This is the model that we are also replicating for our third grade classrooms across the district. It looks a little bit different because of how the schedule sets up in an elementary school, but that's where our TOSAs, our teachers on special assignment, are in classrooms with our teachers and students, and they are supporting. They might be modeling a lesson, they might be gathering observational notes on what the teacher is asking for input on, they might be really focused on a focal student and gathering information about how that student is engaging with the content. They might be co-teaching and going back and forth with the teacher, trying on one of our signature strategies to engage all students and make sure that patterns of participation are considered and supported for all students in the room. Our third grade Math-TOSAs are also available and supporting our third grade teachers during common planning time or on our staff development days when there's time and space for teachers to collaborate in grade level teams around their content. Yeah, the third pillar of our work is aligned professional development. And I'll start by talking about our third grade professional development plan. It is built in conjunction with our Math-TOSA team, and we are intentionally building in experiences that preview upcoming units of study and allow time and space for teachers to make sense of the mathematics that they're going to introduce to their students, for teachers to sort of think about what are the possible approaches that students might have, and how might we lift those up and build upon those so that everyone in the room is deepening their understanding. During our professional development sessions, we also try on different instructional strategies that we are then seen in classrooms across the district. And we're intentionally choosing instructional strategies that will make sure that each of our students is engaging in academic discourse, using the language of mathematics, having the opportunity to access the content. We're sharing low floor, high ceiling tasks and strategies that will really encourage every student to share their mathematical brilliance. We have had 3 days in the summer to sort of launch this work with our third grade teachers. And then we've had 3 professional development days throughout the school year to come back together with our third grade teachers around this work. And we also have monthly Tuesday afternoon check-ins where we meet virtually with all third grade teachers across the district to connect, to reflect, and to plan for re-engaging our students with any of the unfinished learning they may have. We also even offer an optional Saturday session opportunity for our third grade collaborative, which many of our teachers have chosen to join us and think about unpacking the upcoming unit and thinking about how to best serve students in those spaces. Our middle school colleagues also have aligned professional development led by those lead teachers from within our district. So we really believe in the experts within our school district leading out on the work that we know is going to make change in the outcomes for our students here in San Mateo Foster City. Finally, the last pillar that I want to share is our common formative assessments that we have curated from within our own adopted textbooks, both in kinder through 5th grade, from our Zern textbook, and our 6th through 8th grade, we're pulling from our Desmos textbook. And we, again, have our own lead teachers doing that curation, looking at what are the priority standards that are being addressed in this unit, and selecting problems that will really give us a sense of what do our students know and how do I build upon that understanding. Our internal assessments are really a dipstick into what do our students know and what can they do right now in this moment on this set of standards. It's different from other assessments that we use in the district and that other districts use around math, whereas it's not actually a cumulative assessment. It really is just a check on who's learning right now, who isn't, and it allows us to ask the question, what are we going to do about it when we learn that a student isn't yet there? And we have different ways that we answer that. First and foremost, those assessments inform the teacher about their own students' thinking in that moment. And so these assessments are actually quite time-consuming for a teacher because our teachers are actually rubric scoring all of their student work. So they're looking really carefully at how is their student thinking about something, and they're scoring that and talking to colleagues, calibrating as they do that work. This allows teachers to then think about, okay, how is this student thinking about it versus how is this student thinking about it? How might I put both of those students' ideas in front of the class so that we can all make some connections and deepen our knowledge of this content? It also allows our system to kind of have that dipstick check of how are our students doing in this moment on this content. We're in really just year 2 of building out these internal assessments, and we are seeing that our students are being quite successful on our internal assessments. It gives us information about their student thinking in that moment, and it allows us space to grow from there. I came into this work thinking about who sits outside of the sphere of success. Math is actually a gatekeeper for many students' access to college and career. My experience has been as a high school math teacher, so I've sort of sat at the end of the line and seen what happens to our students when they don't have strong foundational skills and a strong sense of confidence in themselves that they can learn mathematics. So I'm really excited to be in this district where we're doing work to address that earlier for our young people and to give them the confidence, the belief in themselves, because I know that all of our students can learn math and get to the highest levels. And I'm really glad to be a part of a system that's working on making sure that each of our students and our families knows that as well. I also want to say that the team that I get to work with here in San Mateo-Foster City, the math team as well as the ed services team, is absolutely committed to equitable outcomes and really thinking about each student and what will it take for that student to be more successful. And it's just a commitment that is really inspiring to see and to be a part of.